Okay, we're back. So what I want to share with you is what we're going to be doing over the 6 weeks. So what we have, this little part that I'm skipping through, is what was on the email that you guys responded to when you signed up. But basically, over these 6 weeks, it's my intention, that we learn deeper ways to work with the Lemurian crystals, and, connecting, and also hearing you guys share about what you've experienced with the crystals so far. It's a deepening of different ways that you can access and tap into the wisdom that's in the Lemurian crystals. So, just because we're connecting as a group together, we're already awakening. So we're awakening each other because we've set the intention to be here with each other, to help each other remember. We'll also be connecting more fully with our Lemurian guides that are with us. Over the 6 classes, these might be members of your Lemurian family, special light beings, angels, that are working with us as well as we delve further into the Lemurian world. So it's also, through this process, it's going to have an energetic effect on you, so help to raise your vibration, help you to feel that oneness, that joy, and that bliss that Shelley was describing, but in a way that we can anchor it more fully into our everyday life. So, it's my intention that through attunements and learning how to work with the crystals, that we don't need a crystal to feel that Lemurian energy, that we embody that, and that we can share that with other people. Of course, I already mentioned that we'll be working with the Akashic Records and learning how to use the crystals to access the Akashic Records. We're going to connect with the mermaids and the mer-beings of Lemuria, also the dolphin beings. We're going to learn about Lemurian toning. We're also going to connect with our individual star families. So Lemuria was made up of light beings from other star systems. So many of these light beings from the Pleiades or from Sirius, comprised what we consider to be Lemuria. And so it's always interesting to make that connection, to see exactly what that is for you. So that's always a really fun thing to do. Also, you'll be learning how to transmit Lemurian energy, so Lemurian attunements towards the end of our class series. And then also learning how to build Lemurian crystal grids, which is one of my favorite things to do. If you are a friend of mine on Facebook, you can see all of I make big ceremonial crystal grids. It's one of my favorite things to teach, and it's a great way to focus and anchor in the Lemurian energy. So tonight's class is Welcome to Lemuria. We're going to learn we're going to receive a Lemurian attunement. We're going to talk a little bit about the Lemurian crystals and, some of the properties of them, how to recognize them. For some of us, of course, this is probably review. We're going to do a Lemurian crystal meditation. So it's a way that I connect with the crystals, that the Lemurian crystals really love to be connected through with heart energy. And then we're going to invite ourselves to travel to Lemuria. We might be greeted by some of our guides that are waiting for us. And I've been feeling, all of the energetic beings earlier today that are really anxious to connect with us. And we're going to do an Akashic Records Lemurian past life journey. So it will be a journey to the Akashic Records so that we can experience our personal connection to Lemuria. So that's always fun. After each class, there is suggested homework. If you want to deepen your experience, you can do the things that we've done in class, and it will unfold even more for you. So The class is really here to help you remember, to help you to awaken, to help you to reconnect back with yourself, those pieces of yourself that are waiting for you, that hold gifts, that hold energy that's waiting to be, released. And with the Lemurian attunement, you might receive also an activation symbol that the Lemurians will give to you that's activated in your heart chakra. And so I'll send this to you. It has, the different classes, and then the suggested homework, and then also the handouts that go with each class. And then class number 2, next week we're going to do Who Are the Lemurians? So we're going to do work with the dolphin beings and also some of the mermaids, the mer people. And then class 3 will be Lemuria and the Star Connection. So in week 3, we're going to connect with and take a journey to the stars, and we're going to invite the star beings that we're connected to, whether it be the beings from the Pleiades or the Sirius star system or Andromeda, and that's always a really fun class. And then class number 4 will be transmitting attunement. So each class will be having the Lemurian guides transmit energy through us. I'll be assisting them in transmitting the Lemurian attunement energy to you. So in this class, you'll be beginning to learn to do that for yourself. And then, of course, at the end of the 6-class series, you should be able to transmit that for other people. Number 5 is Lemurian toning. I do quite a bit of toning. And Lemurian toning can be really, really powerful, especially when we start to combine it with the Lemurian attunement energy. So it'll be wonderful. We'll be able to receive our sacred tones and sounds, and that's always a really fun workshop as well. And then number 6 will be creating Lemurian crystal grids for personal and earth healing. So this kind of wraps up everything that we have done, the different work and deepening with the crystals, waking up to our own special connection, making a firmer connection with our Lemurian guides. And then one of the ways to anchor that energy really firmly into your life and into your environment is by creating grids. So they're not just Lemurian crystals, but very powerful grids can be, they don't need to be fancy either, can be created to harness and anchor the Lemurian energy that you're able to channel then into a healing space, into your home, or into anywhere, for personal, as it says, and also earth healing. So that'll be the 6 classes. Either of you have any questions about the 6 classes or anything? Good. Yeah, so I'll email that to you so you'll know. After this class tomorrow, you'll see an email that comes out. I'm going to attach the it'll be 2 meditations, maybe 3. It'll be from a previous class series as I'm working on yours, and then you'll have all these handouts so you'll be able to see what we're doing. So as we're talking about the Lemurian crystals, they're really master crystals. I know that you both are familiar with the Lemurian crystals. And people ask me all the time, how can you know a Lemurian crystal? What separates a Lemurian crystal from a not Lemurian crystal? And of course, they have their special look. I'm going to have you guys follow my layout here, see if this works. Actually, let me share these documents first. So good. Yay. Okay, so we're back here on the Lemurian seed crystals. Can you guys both see me?
Yes.
Okay. So that, you know, people are always asking me, they always come up to me with their crystals, and they're, you know, a couple of them are really excited because they think they have a Lemurian crystal, and, you know, it'll have the, you know, the big hallmark of a Lemurian crystal are the striations, the lines. I'm trying to find them on here that are etched into the crystal. So it's these, the horizontal striations on the crystal. And, you know, some people will have a crystal that has some striations on it, but they're very light. They're not very etched into there. Whereas a Lemurian crystal, they're really deep. You know, in most cases, I've seen a few Lemurian crystals where that's not exactly the case, but you'll have some really deep grooves, and most of the Lemurian crystals, they'll have the etched lines, and then they'll have a smooth face, and then they'll have etched lines, and then they'll have a smooth side. So the etched lines and then a smooth side, and that's how you really know. So if somebody's, well, that's the visually how you really know. But the biggest giveaway for a Lemurian crystal is just the energy. So I always tell people, if you're in doubt, you know, hold on to it. You know, hold it up to your heart, and then breathe and connect with the crystal. And you should feel this huge heart expansion. You should feel your heart activate and open. And they have a very strong energy, but even the colored Lemurians, you know, the citrine Lemurians, the Smokies, they still will have that heart opening feeling, and then you'll feel it in other chakras as well. So they can do all sorts of things. They're a master crystal, and what I found is that the Lemurian crystals don't need a whole lot of clearing. If you get one that is new to you, of course, I love to do a nice ceremony of cleansing with water and essential oils, and I use sound. My crystals love singing bowls, so I'll put a little pillow in my singing bowl, and I'll play and tone to it, you know, to clear it and to welcome it into my family. But once you have cleared it, unless there's other people constantly holding it, they hold their vibration pretty well, and they stay very clean because they are, you know, they hold that fifth dimensional and higher vibrational light. Whereas, you know, some other quartz is not as, it can be very, very energetic, but they don't necessarily hold that vibration as well. So because they have that fifth dimensional frequency to them, they can start to clear and release karmic patterns in your body. So by meditating with your Lemurian crystals, you're releasing blocks, you're releasing, you know, karmic seeds, things that are, you know, not in alignment with your highest good, so they're clearing. Then they're also activating your DNA, so they raise your vibration. And if you meditate with Lemurian crystals, you know, or sleep with them, that's my favorite thing to do, or generally have them in your environment, over time, they're going to lift your vibration because they do all of this clearing. Of course, they have the connection to all the things that we mentioned that we're going to do in the classes, which is they can link you with the earth grids, they can link you interdimensionally so you can access wisdom of the earth. They have a link to the star systems because it's the star beings, you know, that are the Lemurians that encoded the crystals. And it links with the temples of Atlantis and also Lemuria, so these ancient healing temples. They can be used for astral travel, dream work, lucid dreaming, linking with ancient civilizations, angels, spirit guides. And that's just to name a few. So, what's been said about Lemuria? And you know, when I first started working with the crystals, I had heard the general story about Lemuria, and there are some, you know, there's some variations in what people believe about the ancient civilization. But really, through these 6 classes, it's my intention that you discover the truth. You know, what's the truth for you, instead of reading it on a paper. You know, we're going to describe it in a very general way. And I have certainly beliefs and things that I've uncovered, but rather than taking it from someone else, I want to remember, I want to know, I want to experience, you know, what it really is for me. And, you know, what I came to discover after working with the crystals is that Lemuria really existed for almost an infinite amount of time, it seems. I've seen, you know, different writings say that it was 1 million years or 2 million years, the Lemurian civilization. Well, because they were in 5th dimensional frequency and higher, time doesn't really have the same meaning that it does here in our lower frequency. Now we're in linear time, so time is really time. But when you speak of, you know, Lemuria, you know, you're in a different vibrational frequency, so it's almost like it goes on for an infinity. So when you do the Lemurian connections, some of the first journeys that I did, I remembered existing for thousands and thousands of years in this oneness state where I was almost like a Devic force, or completely merged with the land. You know, I could be a hillside, or then, you know, I could merge with a tree, and then I could merge with somebody else. So it was, that really is the very literal translation of oneness to me. But that was one of my first experiences with the Lemurian crystals, was this is oneness. This is what the vibration was. And then as the time went on, then our Lemurian bodies became a little bit more dense. And then, you know, I started having journeys where I was experiencing myself as having more of a body. Sometimes blue. I would look down and my body's very blue, like the Avatar films. My hands are very long. I'm like 13 feet tall. I still have that experience occasionally. And in these journeys, you know, we're more anchored into our physical bodies. I've also had Lemurian journeys as well, where it was completely underwater. And you might have these, you might come back and forth between the land and then experiencing also Lemuria completely underneath the sea. So, you know, many people have taken my classes, including myself, you know, while experiencing yourself as a dolphin or a mermaid, or living under the ocean, again, for what seems like eons of time, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So it's hard to speak about it in just, you know, in specific terms. Rather, you know, I invite you to have your own experience. But then as we came into the time of Atlantis, Lemuria is far, 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 far older. So I agree with the million years theory. And then up until about 13,000 years BC, right around the time of Atlantis, when the Lemurians had more physical bodies. Some of them were, I wouldn't say stuck, but they lost their ability to leave their bodies and, you know, shift back and forth from 5th dimensional back down to 4th, 3rd dimensional frequencies. And they knew that the vibration of the earth was shifting dramatically, and that they wouldn't be able to sustain the Lemuria as they knew it. Cataclysms started to happen, and so they were able to encode special crystals with the vibration of Lemuria. And really, it's not just the records or the information or healing temples. The crystals hold Lemuria itself. So Lemuria, the fifth dimensional Lemuria and higher, never really was destroyed. That's what I came to realize. A lot of what I was experiencing in my journeys was not past life. It was present life that parts of me were still existing in. And so this is what I believe today. And I invite you to have your own experience and to, visit the Akashic records and to do it, to gain your own knowledge and reconnect yourself. So they encoded these crystals with special information and dimensional doorways, as well as all of their records, their healing temples, access to all of this. They also created a beautiful fifth dimensional Lemurian city underneath Mount Shasta, which is Telos. We'll visit that in class 4. Class 4, we'll go to Telos. And they then planted them into the earth, into the crystal beds of Gaia, deep into her belly, and also in places where when we were able to receive this vibration again, that we would find them. So that was in the 1980s. They began to find the Lemurian crystals in Brazil, and in a very special place. The earth is like reddish pink, so it's very, heart chakra-ish. But they were all found, points. They were found points down in the sand, and the Lemurian crystals that they found, a lot of them were the laser wands that we'll talk about. Were these, ancient, like healing tool Lemurian crystals. And so, and then the Lemurian civilization, was lost underneath the waves. The big cataclysm happened, slightly prior to Atlantis, and then Atlantis was shortly after that. So Lemuria predated it, but coexisted with Atlantis about the same time, and then was completely lost just a little bit prior. So I'll send you this. I'm going to send you the one with Katrina Raphael's. I love her Lemurian work. She was one of the pioneers that studied the Lemurian crystals and wrote up about a lot of the metaphysical properties. So I'll send you her write-up on what she says about the Lemurian crystals. And we're going to explore. We're going to, we're going to learn, and we're going to connect in special ways, and, hopefully awaken more of this connection and the tools to be working with these crystals. Do we have questions? Yeah. Good. You guys are good. I knew you were. So, do you see me?
Yes.
Is my picture big?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is one of the, now that you've made a commitment to explore about this connection, the crystals are going to really open up to you. And, what I like to say to people as well, you both have them, but it's not even necessary really to have a crystal. A lot of people, want to take my Lemurian classes or want to connect, and they're like, well, I don't have one of these crystals. A lot of times it's the intention to connect that really opens it up. But the Lemurian crystals, they really like to be connected with heart energy. So the best way that I like to connect with them is to go into a meditative state. So we're going to do this together after I describe it briefly. To make sure that you're really, really grounded, to make sure that you're feeling clear in your body. And then to open up your heart. And then we're going to connect with our heart energy to the Lemurian crystal. And then we're going to energetically connect with this Lemurian's vibration. So you may feel sensations running through your body. You might feel the energetic clearing or activation that's happening. And then we're going to communicate with the crystals. So what is it that the crystal would like to share with us? You know, we're going to, you know, share our joy with our excitement in connecting. And then after we've connected a little bit, I'm going to take us to Lemuria. So we're going to use the dimensional doorways that are in the crystal to go to Lemuria, wherever it is that is perfect for you. So Lemuria is going to manifest for you however it is perfect for you. Align with your highest good. Also, when you're working with the crystals, the best way is on these lines is to rub back and forth or up and down, and that activates the crystal energy. So when I'm starting to meditate, right after I've grounded and I've opened up my heart and I'm clear and I'm ready to connect, I will rub the crystal and activate those lines. You can connect them with your heart. And then after I've made that connection with my heart, sometimes I'll put it back down at my side. But as it's at my side, I will continue to rub these lines every now and then to keep it really active. And I notice that it really intensifies and opens up the energy of the crystal. So, is everybody ready to take a journey?
Yes.
Yes, yay. I'm going to start our little recorder over, and then, so have whatever crystal friend that you want to work with for this particular journey.